It's the very latest ITV news.
Good afternoon, I'm Faye Barker. The French film star Brigitte Bardot has died at the age of 91. The actress became a symbol of the sexual revolution in the 50s and 60s, but later dedicated her life to animal rights. The French President Emmanuel Macron described her today as a legend of the century. Our arts editor Nina Nanar looks back on her life.
Here is the drama of the life and loves of a young girl of today.
And so Brigitte Bardot announced her arrival. And God Created Woman was her breakthrough film, introducing her as a symbol of the sexual revolution of the 50s and 60s.
J'ai jamais autant parlé de moi.
Her image of a free-spirited, so-called sex kitten would make her world famous. The French film, directed by her then-husband Roger Vadim, scandalised some audiences in its depiction of female sexuality. It was a sensation, becoming the then highest-grossing foreign language movie ever released in the US.
Miss Bardot, you've been called the world sex symbol. Is this the way you want to be known? Is this what you hope the future will bring to you as an actress, or would you like to do something else?
I want to be myself.
And what is yourself?
Look.
Bardot's sultry image, with her signature heavy black eyeliner and her voluminous tousled hair, helped make her a style icon, her look still copied today. It was all a far cry from her childhood dreams of being a ballet dancer and her strict Catholic upbringing.
Brigitte Bardot, the young French star, is also quite easy on the eye.
Her stardom would bring constant press interest. Married 4 times, she and her second husband, Jacques Chadier, had a son, Nicholas, from whom she became estranged, only returning to good terms later in her life.
It is said that you are not a happy person.
I am not a happy person.
I have heard you quoted as saying...
Yes, I am very happy.
You are happy.
Yes.
There were early signs that she was struggling with fame. In 1960, she left hospital after attempting suicide. Her bouts of depression would lead to other attempts to end her life.
You've been gone an hour. Where have you been?
And then, still a screen idol, she gave it all up, aged 39, and after more than 40 films, to spend her life promoting animal welfare. She set up the Brigitte Bardot Foundation, auctioning off personal belongings to fund its work. But her outspokenness and her ties to France's far-right National Front would bring her into conflict with some groups. Her criticism of immigration and Islam's influence on French culture would result in a number of convictions for inciting racial hatred. Hers is a complex legacy, yet there is no denying Brigitte Bardot's cultural impact. Her very name synonymous with a new wave of cinema and women on screen. She has a special place in the history of film.
Remembering Brigitte Bardot, who's died at her home in southern France at the age of 91. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is meeting Donald Trump in Florida today to discuss steps to end his country's war with Russia. Just hours ahead of the meeting, Ukraine was once again attacked by Moscow in a series of missile and drone attacks. Charlotte Cross has the latest.
With peace negotiations just hours away, still overnight Russian bombs fell on Ukraine. In the southern city of Odessa, drones targeted a residential building. Leaving scenes like this behind, President Zelensky is now in Florida for peace talks, stopping off in Canada on the way to help shore up support from allies.
What we need to stop this war. We need 2 things, pressure on Russia and sufficient strong support for Ukraine.
He said that when he meets Donald Trump later today, he wants to focus on security guarantees. And as strikes continue back home, people living through the bombardment say they want their president to ensure any peace deal is done with justice in mind.
The main Kiev message to Trump is that we're ready to discuss even controversial plan from you because we need peace. But this peace should be just peace. We don't need peace without justice. That's why we're ready to talk, we're ready to discuss, but we are not ready to capitulate.
In Odessa, emergency services managed to evacuate residents and nobody was injured. But the attack was a timely reminder to those around the negotiating table that this war is far from over. Charlotte Cross, ITV News.
Skiers are still taking to the slopes in Sicily despite fresh activity from Mount Etna. Huge plumes of smoke and ash have been erupting from the volcano. Scientists say volcanic activity has intensified at the site and they've increased warnings to the highest red level. However, flights have still been able to operate. Here, households have been facing higher bills of more than £1,200 extra across the board this year, according to new figures. Comparison site Uswitch found most areas in England saw council tax bills rise by 5%, while water bills increased by an average of £123 per year, and energy, broadband and phone bills also went up. Finally, a new battle of the sexes in tennis takes place later in Dubai. This afternoon, the current women's #1, Aryna Sabalenka, will play the Australian Nick Kyrgios. The match is a throwback to what was one of the most famous tennis matches in history when Billie Jean King defeated Bobby Riggs in 1973. The three-set match will have modified rules and each player will be restricted to one serve only. More from us just after 5 o'clock. Until then, have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.